So I'm on the p5js website here. I do want to show you a few things. I'm just going to go to the editor. You can also do this offline. You don't have to use their editor. You could do it all in some other editor. You could even do it in a basic text software. You could do it on GitHub. You could do it almost anywhere. It's just nice that they do have this. Interesting. It's just nice that they do have this online editor that you can use without having to set up anything on your own. Hopefully you've gotten the idea now that this is the basic structure of a p5js application, program, whatever. You've got the setup function. All right, this is going to run exactly one time. It's going to run at the start of whenever your script is loaded. That's usually when your web page first runs, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. You could delay the startup if you played with JavaScript and tinkered a little bit with how things work. And then you have the draw loop, and the draw loop runs typically 30 times per second unless you do something to change that. All right, so yeah, that's the basic setup of a p5js program, and hopefully you know that already. Let's talk a little bit about why you might want to use this. There's a lot of people that focus on interactivity, little art programs or whatever. I've done a little bit of that myself as well, so this is something that I worked on quite a while back. So this was, I don't know, like 5 years ago or so. So I was kind of playing with the idea of it working with art. This, I actually never finished this. So this was a thing that I was working on after this came out. So I was making a little piece related to that. It ended up getting really, really laggy because each one of these is an image, and there's a lot of images on top of each other. So that's like a PNG there. This is like different PNGs of fire that it's randomly choosing between. Here's a bunch of little small fires that I made. Here's a PNG of some text that's moving up the page. Here's a PNG of some text moving up the page. More PNGs. Different, I think these are actually PNGs too. It was a GIF, and I separated the different cells or the different frames of the GIF and had them display one at a time, if I remember right. But this ended up causing a lot of lag, and I didn't finish. I wanted to end up having actual like little fake newspapers where I use actual real articles, but I had photoshopped them onto like old looking newspapers and had them show up one after the other of different articles related to this issue. But it started just getting really laggy. I realized then that the way that p5js works with images in a canvas, it's actually redrawing the image 30 times per second unless you change that, and so it eats up a lot of memory. So if you're using this method and you're wanting to use lots of images, it might not perform as well as you expect. So that being said, you can do a lot without using actual images, or there are other ways to do it. You don't have to use this canvas. Again, it can tie to elements on a web page, and we'll talk about that more later as well.